And welcome back to Who Would Win. This one comes to us from, 1 second here, Wade Wilson, Horror Fazo, and the, I'll be honest, I can't remember exactly whose name that was. They ask the question, who would win in a fight, Spawn or Doomslayer? Now, I had Doomslayer on a little while ago, and overall, I believe I had him against Jason Voorhees. Doomslayer is, first off, it is still the Doom franchise, so Doomslayer is still technically Doom Guy, but he's just an upped version of Doom Guy. Doomslayer is an extremely powerful version of Doom Guy. All the versions of Doom Guy, Doomslayer, he's in Doom, oddly enough, Doom 2, if I'm not mistaken, and probably a couple other versions. I've never played that many Dooms. He's a protagonist and playable character of Doom, Doom 2, Doom 2, Hell on Earth, Final Doom, Doom 64, Doom 2016, Quake Champions, Quake Arena, Doom Eternal, and possibly Doom 3. So, yeah, Doomslayer, Doom Guy, they're pretty much the same thing. But, again, he is still different than Doom Guy in many original ways. He's actually far more durable, has far more going for him than just, the standard arsenal. He's fought the forces of hell God knows how many times and come out on top. His weapons and arsenal are, man. Like the Unmaker, I think, is like his most powerful one. It feeds off demonic energy, but he's also obviously got the BFG, shotguns, grenades. He can make himself invulnerable. He's also extremely tough, much tougher than your average human being. He's even tougher than your average Marine. He's insanely strong, insanely high willpower. Again, defeated the forces of hell God knows how many times. He is just Doom Guy. Spawn is a hell spawn. He was a mercenary, Al Simmons, I believe. He got tricked, assassinated, made a deal with the devil, came back, and he has a hell spawn. He wears Lilith of the 7th House, if I believe it's called. It's basically a symbiotic suit, feeds off his necroplasmic energy, and feeds off negative emotions as well. It allows him to shapeshift, summon weapons. God knows how much magic on his side. He's still trained mercenary as well, so he's got that training to get under his belt. I'm glossing over a lot, but it's the general gist that we really need in this. Really, his only weaknesses are holy weapons, decapitation, usually from said holy weapons, but decapitation will kill him. And there's only one spot on Earth where that is actually considered heaven on Earth where his powers don't work. Other than that, though, he's pretty hard to put down. Who do I think would win in a fight between these guys? Well, it's actually not as clear-cut as you might think on either side of the fence. On the Doomslayer side, many people probably are, dude, he's defeated the forces of hell, bro. He's fought this and this and this. Yes, but so has Spawn. In fact, Spawn has killed both Satan and God and remade the world in his image and went back to being a hellspawn after that. So that argument doesn't fly. But for anyone who's arguing Spawn's got all this and all this magic, all this combat experience. He's beaten God and Satan. Yeah, but again, Doom Guy has also beaten hell multiple times. He's also versatile. He's also well-trained. So this is not a clear-cut fight. This would probably be a lot of back and forth between the two, honestly. Now, if you bring in the Unmaker as well, and that hits Spawn, that is a real question. How effective is something like the Hellmaker, the Unmaker against Spawn? Well, it's definitely going to work against Spawn. It's just a matter of how, it's going to kill him? Probably not. Spawn is honestly more powerful than most of the demons you see in Doom, just because of the sheer wide amount of abilities he has, plus what his feats compared to any of the demonic entities' feats. So while it would definitely hurt, it can definitely injure him, and long-term shots might actually put him down for good. It would not be the end-all be-all. Despite someone got into close range as well, that gets a little tricky. Spawn is probably physically stronger than Doomslayer, but Doomslayer has had more than enough experience dealing with demonic entities, so he could go toe-to-toe. And Spawn is human-sized, so it becomes a bit more of an evened-out fight. But again, his physicality does give him an edge. And he's also got his own training. Plus, his weapons he can kind of just make on the fly, be it chains, axes, blades, whatever. So if the fight got in close, it would the advantage then goes to Spawn. Ultimately, though, the question becomes, who is going to take the win? Who's going to get the biggest advantage over the other before the other one can? And my money is probably going to go on Spawn. The reason I say for that is because Lilith can, even though Doomslayer is a very, level-headed guy, he's fought the forces of hell God knows how many times and come up on top. His personality is described as such, at least from the, unlike some other earlier injuries, he showed little emotion, expressed more through actions rather than words. During the Crusades, his interactions with, even though should be noted, not showing emotions is not the same as not feeling them. Just because you're not showing your emotions doesn't mean you're not feeling them. It's clear Doomslayer motivation priority start and end and stop and killing demons and not for the UAC, but their conscious, very little interest in anything else. He does not, however, show any does not show to be sympathetic to a degree as seen when he makes a backup copy of Vega before destroying. Basically, I would have to believe that he's probably more and more pissed off as the series goes on. He has to keep going through this crap. That there would be at least some evil that he could feed off of. Or not evil, but negative emotions, if you will, that he'd be able to feed off of. It probably wouldn't be very strong, but Lilith would be able to feed off that, which means Spawn could keep going indefinitely for a certain amount of time. Add on to the fact that Spawn technically only has one real weakness, and that's taking off his head. Doomslayer would have to know this to have a guaranteed shot at killing him. Because if he knows this weakness going into the fight, then I'll fully give it to Doomslayer, honestly. Despite all of Spawn's abilities, if Doomslayer knows that fatal flaw that decapitating Spawn will kill him, then yeah, I would give it to Doomslayer. But the problem is, these guys aren't going into the fight knowing that. Neither of them are knowing the other's weakness. Granted, Doomslayer is still technically human, but still. So without knowing that weakness, he might still try to go for the head, but Spawn's good at covering his bases. Again, he was a mercenary, he was a soldier, so he knows how to cover his weaknesses and knows how to fight. The fact that Lilith and all of his abilities give him far more versatility than most of the opponent's Doomslayer fights, I've got to go personally with Spawn. Again, also factoring in that, yes, both these guys have defeated Hell in their respective worlds. However, Spawn didn't just overcome Satan and Hell. He overcame God and Heaven. That kind of gives him a slight leg up in terms of accomplishments. He even met the mother of all creation, the one who even created Satan and God. So, and not he didn't beat them, and I say them because mother of creation is kind of a loose term. It's really a gender thing. Ultimately, though, Spawn did overcome both planes of holy and demonic existence, whereas Doomslayer's only ever fought one. Now, maybe we'll do a Doom where he actually fights Heaven. That would actually be kind of fun. I'd play that. Honestly, I'd probably play Doom 2 if I ever got around to it, but I'm probably never going to get around to it. Ultimately, though, I'm going with Spawn in the fight. I would take Spawn. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of people who argue Doomslayer that I don't know Doomslayer, and to an extent, you're right. I only know so much about Doomslayer. So maybe the way I'm interpreting what I know is wrong. Maybe he would completely annihilate Spawn. Or maybe I'm right. Maybe Spawn completely annihilates him. But I do think it's actually closer than just one curb stomps the other. I do think it would be a solid fight between the two of them. But I do think the winner would be Spawn. Not necessarily edging out, but it would be I don't do percentages anymore, but if it was a percentage, I'd say 60-40. But what do you think? You think Spawn completely takes out Doomslayer? Or do you think Doomslayer completely takes out Spawn? Let me know in the comments below. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Ideas for who would win, Star Wars, Superhero, Magic, what if, anything you do on the channel, put that in the comments below. Let me know. I'll get to that at some point. So it is the week of who would win. Keep your eyes out. That means a who would win every day. I got one more video to do for today. That'll be up today. And I got to pre-record my videos for tomorrow. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.